Hi everyone, it's Zeffy and I'm back with my altered cork. Just to recap quickly, I'm using a champagne cork, so that's why it's got an odd shape. I've used the buckle from a shoe strap and a little piece of metal at the bottom, some little pointy doodads at the bottom there of some jewelry, a little photo frame with my daughter in it. This is for my son-in-law, and like I said in my first video, I've used an old chain that I got on the end of summer sales last year for the bottom and the top. So what I want to do now is I want to add these little metal embellishments that I got from Lily's store, Shabalicious. Underneath here I've used a little scrap of doily that are coffee stained. It's nice to buy everything in white, and just this was white lace, white trim. Actually this is quite nice to use here. I also quite like the ones that are variegated. So this is just plain white satin ribbon. Look how nice that looks. So it's, you know, good to have around. It's good to do these things before and while you work everything's ready, because when you're busy working on a project, you don't say, oh, let me quickly just drop everything and go and, you know, get some stuff stained. This is going to be a little bit messy, I think. I'm going to put this on with hot glue, but I will also secure it in with some pearls in the center. This is very finicky, so the glue is going to show, and there's nothing worse than seeing blobs of glue on stuff. And that's exactly what's going to happen here. I don't like what I'm seeing. I'm going to have to put this down with some other glue. Glossy accents is also not an option because it dries glossy. But I'm going to use some Orleans as soon as I get the hot glue off here. One of my favorite glues is the tacky glue. Although I was watching Jeanette from Scrapping Happy using her Alma's, I think it was, that also looked amazing, that glue, but we don't get that over here. So we hope that this is going to stick it down. I think I'm going to have a problem with this. I just hope my face. I reckon I'm going to have to what am I going to have to do? I was thinking of putting a pearl in the center of it, and I think that I might have to put those in and then let that hold the glue down. So what I've got are some pearls here, and in my box here I have a couple that are like an antique color. I just hope this isn't too long. I'll put that one in the center. But I don't know what, I was just thinking of, I don't know if I want another one there. I don't think so. I may have to put something in there to hold it down for a while and then take it out, if you ask me. This little section before going on, before videoing, so that it could dry, because I think it's going to need time to dry. And that's what I don't have, is time. And we just hope it doesn't find the other. You know what the problem is? This little thing doesn't have a point. Oh, it's in. Can you see it? And that actually will hold it down. So a wet baby wipe to wipe away all the glue. Where's the other one? Okay. Yeah. There we go. This is really finicky work for me. Having done my carpal syndrome, my wrists, sometimes it's challenging. Okay, the last thing we want is this pin coming out of the top of the cork. Or the cork breaking. So this is what we've got. It's wobbling, the glue isn't holding it at all, and I think I'm going to put one more in there. Right in the center. That really worked better. There we go. Okay, and I don't know if you remember in the first video I had a problem with a little gap over there. So having put the little crochet bit, I've decided that the little key You can go in between the denim and the crochet, and it can go in at an angle and just sit under the purl and like that, just like that. The key has it had just rusted like this. I had found it at a junk store on the island, and I think there's so much moisture and humidity there that it's rusted in this manner. So it's quite pretty or gross depending on your taste. I know that France Papillon loves to rust her stuff in salt water and vinegar, so this has already been done for me. I'm going to need a little bit more glue underneath this. I don't want to put a lot of glue because I don't want it to show. There we go. And then I'm thinking in here I want to put just 2 little pearls tucked away there. And I might use the same pearls as, the same pearls as I use on the top. What I usually do with pearls, because when you stick them down you don't want the little holes to show, so I use a pin. And actually I don't think I should waste this. Let me just get a regular pin. And I just thread it through the holes, so then I've got something to hold it. So I'm going to put it in and then slide the pin out. A little bit of hot glue over there. There we go. And then I want this little compass goodie. I want that out there, pointing. So I'm going to put in the bottom little bit, and I'm warning you now, my weakness or my disadvantage is making these loops. I'm really not good at it. So let's see what we can do. I've added the rondelle there with a bling. That's off some jewelry. I'm going to straighten this up for starters. In there I've added one of these little loop things that you put at the bottom of beads. So I've already got a tiny loop there, but it's a very tiny loop, and I'm hoping I'll be able to get into here. There we go, can you see? So I've got to basically grab this now and loop it over into there. So that's the bottom, and then we'll put the top on. The top is that piece of necklace. I've added one of these Tim Holtz, I think they're clothespins, and a tiny little bird at the bottom. The only problem is my little bird isn't it isn't double faced. It's only got one side, and the back is like that. What I might do is when I'm finished I might add some stickles to it and then just lay it down to dry. Now I was hoping that this would go in from here, but then of course I've added the glossy accents in here. I don't want to put another loop in here. So let's see if we can get this open. Okay, am I on? I've got to get this loop in through this little thing here. I think that's in. Perhaps I should have done this before. There we go. I'm not sure if this is going to work. This is one of those Tim Holtz pins, which, as you can see, is proving to be a little bit of a challenge. There we go. And I'm just going to have to glue it down again, because I took off the glue now. Although it's in quite tight. How long this... Okay, now I've got to, after this, I've got to start thinking of... It's probably seam binding or a little bit of this lace that I've got here. Okay, you all know how to open these little goodies. You just twist them away from each other, like the one must come towards you and the other away, so that they open at an angle. Okay, and then this can just go back in here and onto the chain. There we go, and then you close it again. There. I'm much happier with that. Can you see it's smaller? And it's quite interesting at the back as well, and the front. Okay, what I want to do now, I just want to show you, if you see in the first video, I pulled this off and I actually cracked the glossy accent. There's a crack across her mouth now. Or is that her hair? No, luckily that's not a crack. That's a piece of glue. I quite like this because I've got that little bit of crochet there, and I'm thinking I'm going to put it on this big loop here, something. So we'll put a bit of that and a little bit of seam binding and we're done. Let's find the seam binding, which I treat like gold because I had ordered this from America, so it's precious. Okay, let's see what we've got here. I want to color this a bit, so what I'll do is I'll just use some walnut stain. And a bit of a mist. A little spritz of water. And if it's too dark, if you don't like the way it looks, you can just add more water and then you'll just wash the Distress ink is water based, so if I add more water I'll blend it a bit more and eventually take it off. But I think that's, I don't think you'll be able to see that on the camera, but that's about good enough. I turned that little goodie at 90 degrees to the photo. Can you see? I turned it so it can be like this, so that my bow can be right in front, because the loop was like so. So when I put the ribbon on, it would be hanging either on this side or that side. So I just rotated the little paper pin to be perpendicular to my photo, and I'll add some glue to it as soon as I get the bow on. I'll add it underneath, and that will keep everything stable. What I've done now is I've knotted everything together, and I'm not liking the thick knot I've got here, so I'm going to loosen it. What I'll do is just join this together with a bit of hot glue. Ow. And just do that with that little bit of trim. This was a white board trim. It looks like crochet, but it's machine made, and I wanted to fray a bit there. And then we'll make a bow with the seam binding on top of that. I'm not sure about the bow. It might be too girly. We'll see now. If I don't like it, I might just take it off and just let it hang without a bow. I'll see. No, I don't like a bow. I don't want it over the photo. It looks quite scrappy. And I think I want something else up there too. I wasn't liking the way that looked. I'm going to knot it, because what was happening, the pieces were just looking like that. So if it's knotted, it's going to go in two different directions. And I think I want the bulk of the knot. So you know what? You just try things out. Nothing is set in stone. There's no do's and don'ts. You just do what you like and what makes you happy. If it doesn't make you happy, undo it. It's not a train smash. You'll use a little bit for something else eventually. What I've got up here now are 2 knots, and I don't like the 2 knots. I don't like that at all. Can you see? That's really not looking good. Okay, when I stop talking, it means I'm thinking. I think that's going to be better. Do you like that? There we go. I think that's it. I don't want that very long. I think I'm done. So, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the process. A little bit finicky. So that's a tassel and a piece of jewelry from this necklace. Okay. Other little bits from an earring. I could have tucked in another pearl at the back there now that I look at it. There's 2 pearls stuck in there. And a little Tim Holtz bit. And the back. And I hope he likes it. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to add some gold glossy accents on the back of that bird. And you can see here I've scratched my frame a little bit. All I need is, I've got these, especially for the Greek girls, Kyoto Decor. They're alcohol inks and they cost me €1. And they work like a bomb. I use them to ink up the little buckle that was silver as well. So if you can't afford alcohol inks, the Ranger Adirondack alcohol inks, you just get yourself a cheap alcohol pen and you can color stuff. You can even color the pearls with this if you wanted. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for watching. Have a good week. Bye.